Well, hello world. I'm LA Little, and this is the Technical Analysis Today site where a community of like-minded traders and investors gather around on a daily basis for new, fresh content, new trading ideas, and now this show. I've not done the show for quite a while. We've done a lot since then. You see it probably here on the site since the last time you visited. This is the non-professional site. There is a professional site. The non-professional site gives information. You can monitor activity. There's a lot of information here over time. All you have to do is register. You come over, hit the register button. If you're not registered, log in. Once you're logged in, then all this information is available to you. And each and every one of these, from trades to articles to videos to targets on a daily basis. You can go back and see those range trade targets and trade two targets on the trends on a daily intraday basis. All kinds of good information here on a daily basis. The site is about learning. It's about participating. The members bring ideas to me. They are able to, those members, I call them mentors because we've mentored them. They bring ideas to us, and those ideas we share on the site. For example, here's one here, CTRL. You can go in, you can see what happened, what's taking place, and they're in threads. So when you actually look at this, if you go back to the monitor and if you look at this, the first idea on this particular thread was on 8:30. It's been updated through 9:14, and what happens is this is a 2-week delay for non-members, non-paying members. If you register, you can get all this information free on a 2-week delay. And so if you want to become a member, if you want to take part in the mentorship, and you can read about that, about the education and what we do here. Anyway, all that's available to you. Totally revamped site. All the tools that you're probably used to over the years, all still here. And of course, I'm still here. Let me tell you what this show's going to be. It's been a good 8 or 9 months now since I've broadcast. I am not going to broadcast on a daily basis. I'm going to broadcast when I see something that's valuable to broadcast, whether it's about the broad market or whether it's about an individual trade that the mentors have come across. And so each show, we're going to give at least one trading idea. And we'll also talk about the general markets and whatever technically that we should be talking about. But we're always going to share at least one trading idea. So let's pop into a trading idea to begin with. And we'll start with the bullish one to begin with here. I'm going to start with Global Medical, which is the symbol is GMED. And let's mark this up as we go. Of course, this is Neoclassical. We're not doing the normal thing that you see everywhere else. Everything we do is horizontal lines. We're looking at supply and demand. We're looking at it on the charts. Swing point highs identified by the programs by H's. L's are the lows. This thing just did a breakout. You get a nice big push up here. You can see the volume expand. Big push. Gets over a swing point high. That's what these arrows are telling you. It's a breakout. Breaks out over one, breaks out over another one. That was all last week. If we pop it to the weekly chart and look at it there, you've got the same sort of thing taking place here. This thing's been consolidating now, for about 6-7 weeks, actually longer than that. If we really did the consolidation, it was back from here, right? That was way back. Those tops were hitting back in March. So you go up, you make a new high, you pop down, you test the bottom, you actually expand the range, and then you hold. This week gets over this swing point high. That's what this green arrow is telling you. That's a breakout. That breakout coincides with what you just saw on the daily time frame. We call that a break of multiple swing points on multiple time frames. Just barely missed this last swing point in terms of breaking it out, but that one's set up to try and break out this week. See volume expanding. This thing is set up to try and push higher. And even though it's a little dangerous to buy breakouts, when you get multiple swing points, multiple time frames, you can actually take that plunge. If you look at it on the monthly time frame, you can see nothing but up. This thing has made a huge run already. This is not one that you buy and just sit back and count your money. This is one that you buy and you keep your stops, and you have to trade manage this thing as it goes along. So how would that look if we were going to trade manage it? If we go back to the daily chart, this is a breakout on 2 different time frames. Where can it retrace to? This is the question you always have to ask yourself. Where can it retrace to and still be bullish? Well, if you come back within 6 bars, and this one already has, you can trade down to the bottom of those swing points. In other words, you could trade all the way back down into here. So a trade down into the bottom third, which would be this area about 33.50 down to about 32.80 or so, that would be a normal retrace. Nothing wrong with that. That's still okay. So if we pop to the weekly and ask ourselves, where can that one trade? Well, it got over this one, can trade down even lower. I'm sorry, I said 30. I was talking about 50. It could trade down to 50.13 on this one. And so you could get a move down to anywhere from that 54 area down to about 50 and still be bullish on this. So you have to decide what your time frame is. Are you willing to take that kind of a drawdown, which is roughly 10% here, or are you going to play it tighter? Now, if you play it tighter, you're going to have a higher probability of stopping out. But look at how this thing is trading. Just look at each of the bars, and we'll go them one by one, and I'll just describe them. First is you get the big push up, volume expands compared to what it had been. That's a good sign. It goes up, it tests into that swing point high, fails, but it has more volume. What does it do? Consolidates, breaks out. Right? That big breakout also comes on decent volume. Right? So we got a breakout, decent volume, over the swing point highs. That gives you the green, which says it's a confirmed breakout. And then your last one breaks out here, and that one's not confirmed. Now this one actually broke this swing point high, that one. The last one broke some swing point high that's already off the chart. So as you push up, all those break, all those are very positive the way they show up. The other thing that's positive and maybe not as noticeable is just a candlestick thing, and that is that they push this down, they try to take it back down after the breakout. They tried to do it on Thursday, they tried to do it on Friday, and what happens? Buyers come right back in and just shoot it back up. That says there's buying interest on a deeper level on any kind of retrace, and that's where the multiple swing point, multiple breakout looks like it's going to actually hold, and this thing is going to try and push forward. Generally, the markets look well. I'm not going to go in and make this a long one. I'm going to try to keep them short. But the general markets still look fine. They're still holding. You had 5 days down last week, but you didn't get that much of a pullback even with the 5 days down. It was a slight pullback into a retest regen on the general market. And actually, let me show you that. And here's that chart. And so when you look at it, you can see these 5 days down. But what did that do? It just came back into the bullish retest regen on a short-term time frame. On a weekly, it still looks really good. So you're on the daily here. So really, there's nothing to gripe about in the way this market's acting. I like the way things are working here. Whether we can get another push up is a different question, but we'll see if it can push back up there and make new highs and try to leg higher. But there are general stocks, right, individual stocks that look really strong. The one I pointed out is one of them. That's it for this time. Until next, have a great one. If you want, subscribe to the channel, and that way anytime I push material, you'll get a notification. Have a great one. Take care. I'm L.A. Little, and this is your technical analysis update. Have a great one.